here in Kalunga, north of Calvalcante, and I feel a bit guilty. We came here to see more of the countryside, explore more hidden gems, and just see these incredible waterfalls of the area. While researching online, we found out that these waterfall hikes cost a fair bit amount of money, and all of them required local guides to take you on the trek. And honestly, I was just a bit annoyed with the additional fees that were piling up just for some short waterfall hikes. Not to mention that Morgan and I are now on our countdown for the amount of days that we have left in Brazil.
Agora tem mais de 3 picos de flor hoje. Ontem nós pesquisando lá. E uma meu Deus, nós fizemos o curso. Aí.
But I didn't know the history of the area, and come to find out, all of the fees for the hikes weren't just going to some greedy landowners' pockets. It was all going to the betterment of the community that hosts the hikes. And Brazil, as does every other country in the world, has a bit of a dark history. Slavery wasn't abolished here until 1888. 23 years after the passing of the United States 13th Amendment. And during the Atlantic slave trade era, Brazil imported more slaves than any other country, and Brazil was the last country in the Western world to abolish slavery. And the community that hosts these hikes only has a population of 750 people and is 20 kilometers north of the nearest city, Calvalcante. And there's only one dirt road to get here, and if you weren't looking for it, you'd completely miss it. But that's exactly the purpose. And to my understanding, the village started about 300 years ago and is where runaway slaves would come find refuge. Over the years, the village grew in population entirely from runaway slaves. And the craziest thing is that this village remained uncontacted from the rest of Brazil up until 1980. That's 100 years after slavery was abolished in Brazil. Quilombo is the denomination for communities like this one. Quilombos were formed throughout Brazil during the slave trade, typically in isolated areas far away from where gold was being mined, and we actually stayed in another Quilombo when we hiked Anachata in the state of Sao Paulo, and the community was absolutely incredible.
We're in a Kalunga community, is a Quilombola community where slaves fled to here, and they still keep the traditions, and only people from here can live here. It's like an indigenous reserve. And now we're driving west, I think, another 30 kilometers to someone called Complexo da Canjica. It's a bunch of waterfalls, super beautiful water. So we're driving there to do this hike.
So, everyone that lives here is a descendant of fugitive slaves. In recent years, tourism was established here to help provide additional money to the community, to help fund healthcare needs, buy new school supplies for the kids, or just anything else in general. But the money generated is solely used to help the community. And here I am, swallowing my pride, looking like an idiot for getting annoyed with these little fees, because it wasn't even that much money anyways. But I am so glad that we didn't give up going on these hikes, because we wouldn't have learned about this region, nor could we have appreciated the land for all of the natural beauty that it has to offer. Seriously, and I'm not even exaggerating, these waterfall hikes offer some of the best views that I've ever seen in my entire life. The first watering hole, and apparently there's 5 more spots to stop. This is crazy hike. Beautiful trails, kind people, amazing overlooks, and seriously some of the clearest water in the world. To add even more craziness to the story, the Canjica complex, part of the Quilombo area, was only opened up 5 or 6 months ago, and all of this land is so raw and undiscovered. There are hundreds of waterfalls in this area, and all on private land and part of the Quilombo community. Our guide said that he only recently started trekking this route because the family finally opened it up for the first time to guides, and it is quite possible that we are some of the first Americans to ever complete this hike and experience this beauty firsthand. And that's fucking insane to say that we're even some of the first people to ever see this. How is that even possible in 2022?
Chemicals just for fun. purchase a cerveza. Heineken.
Thank you to the people of Quilombo. Thank you to George and Paula for finding this hike and working so hard to find the best guide in the region. Thank you to our Pousada host in Calvalcante. This place is just insane. I don't even know how else you could describe it. I just feel ridiculous for even contemplating if we should go here. And for what? A little bit of extra cash? That's absurd. Would you rate it one of the best hikes you ever did?
I think so. I think because we've had so many stacked, so many like beautiful waterfalls stacked on top of each other, and walking through this canyon to see everything, it's up there. It's not too long either. I think we're going like maybe 10 miles round trip, and there's like nobody in the group. I mean, we got 5 of us in the guide, so you know, the fact that the park like this doesn't have roaming tourists everywhere is pretty incredible.